All right, UFC London in the books, fight night card where it was a UFC card. That is an apt description of how I describe it. What say you, AJ?
It definitely happened.
It did in fact happen. But I just want to say before we break down the card a little bit, break down the main card and some of the prelims, I just want to give a huge shout out to McNeese State in the NCAA tournament, um, getting rid of that awful orange team that some people, I'm not going to point fingers or anything, but some people were saying they're the best team in the ACC because of an early February win. Um, and going to the NCAA tournament, and what happens? They get absolutely mollywopped by McNeese, and
Mollywall, we lost by 2 points.
not to mention you also didn't win the ACC tournament. Who won the ACC tournament, AJ?
I didn't even watch it.
But do you know who won it?
No, actually. Was it Louisville?
No, it wasn't Louisville who beat you. It was read it on the chest, read it on the hat. The Blue Devils, baby. We are still
Oh.
dancing. We're en route to a national championship. Everything is in place.
Finna get
And
bounced. Finna get bounced.
by who?
Who y'all play? Who y'all play right now?
We play Arizona.
Oh no, I saw. And Arizona was talking, bro. Arizona's actually bouncing you guys.
I could care less about Caleb Love. This ain't 2022.
No, he was.
You can
He was
have
talking.
6 years in college. This is a different Duke team. We're the best defensive team in the country. We have the best player in the country. This is the year. It's going to
Best
happen this
player?
year.
No.
Who's better than
Almost.
Cooper Flag?
Spears is better. Spears.
Who?
Alabama point guard.
Oh,
Sears.
Sears. Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, that's
Yeah, he
that's
is.
that's an awful
But
take. But
but
nevertheless, this is a MMA show. This is an MMA podcast. So UFC London was happening during all of the madness, and Sean Brady, on roughly 4 weeks' notice or so, comes in and absolutely demolishes, and I mean demolishes Leon Edwards. There was virtually no moment in this fight for me where I thought Brady looked uncomfortable, where I thought Leon had any success, even on the feet. The first round was super telling to me in the fact that, yes, Leon going in, we all thought he was the cleanest striker, and most would still say he is. But Brady was landing on the feet. He was doing well. He wasn't getting hit. And then he sealed the round in the last 20 seconds by landing that takedown. And then from there on, I mean, he just, at the start of every round, it seemed like he was just sprinting towards Leon, getting those takedowns. And I mean, there's not many fights where I think about that there could be more than one 10-8 round. I genuinely think there's an argument for round two for sure.
yeah,
And
Leon. I don't even think Leon threw a punch in the second round.
no, Leon landed 0 strikes in the second round and was controlled for about
That
over
might even
four
be a
over 4
10-7.
minutes and 50. I believe the control time was 4 minutes and 57 seconds.
Surprised that wasn't a 10-7.
It very well could have been. I haven't looked at the scorecards because the scorecards didn't eventually matter. But and then round three as well. I mean, in round three, Leon didn't do anything on the feet, and Brady had, I believe, over 3.5 minutes of control time, or around that range. So both of those rounds, especially round two, could have been argued for 10-8s. And I mean, if you're Leon, this is the absolute worst way that you could have imagined this. I mean, in London, coming off of another kind of dominant loss against Bilal Muhammad. It was a 3-2 scorecard, but when Leon was getting dominated in that fight, it was evident. And this is just the last way that Leon's team would have wanted this to go. So going from here, I mean, let's talk about Brady first, though. We have to give him his flowers. He 4 weeks notice, like I said, I think he put on his I think he put the welterweight division on notice here. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, he's absolutely right there in the mix for a title shot now. With the likes of Buckley, if he's able to get one more good win. With the likes of Shavkat, he's right there. I will say I did think I we didn't make a video, but I was gonna pick Leon to win this fight. But Sean Brady, I mean, he looks good, man. If he can get his striking just a little bit better, make it look cleaner, and I mean, he the thing that people look at when they look at Sean Brady is this one right here. Now, this one is a finish loss, a TKO loss to Bilal Muhammad. So then some people kind of question like, how you get finished by Bilal? But I mean, he's good. I don't know what's next for him. I think do Brady versus Shavkat. Number
I
one eliminator.
I love that idea. I think there's two options that could be done here. I think Shavkat is one of those options, and then I think the other option would be Buckley. I think Brady in the grand scheme of the welterweight division has moved past Ian Gary. I don't think he should be. I don't think Ian Gary has the right to fight Sean Brady right now, and also Kamaru Usman doesn't have the right to fight Sean Brady right now with where he's at. So for me, it's only Buckley or it's only Shavkat. Or honestly, if it shakes out and Shavkat, I believe he's hurt right now. Um, if he isn't able to go after the results of Bilal and JDM,
After JDM wins.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when the time comes. Um, but yeah, after the result of that Bilal Muhammad versus JDM fight, I mean, Brady's I think is just as deserving, if not more than Shavkat for the title shot. So I think timing is going to be everything here when it comes to how it plays out. I wouldn't be surprised either way, whether he goes straight to a title or if he has another contender fight, assumably against Shavkat. But I mean, if you're Sean Brady, you're on top of the world right now, and it could not have gone any better. So, and I don't know if there's a better grappler in the division. I mean, Brady seems like
Maybe
one of I don't know. Brady seems like one of these grapplers where he just doesn't make the mistakes. He does all the little things right. He doesn't get in bad positions on the ground. Um, and he's really, really good about keeping a dominant position, whether it's top half guard, whether it's mount. He's so good at transitioning into whatever position he wants. So I think he's really scary for everyone in the division. I think he can cause problems for everyone. So I can't wait to see what's next, whether it is a title shot or a another number one contender fight. But let's go back to Leon Edwards.
Leon.
Crushing loss for him. What do you think is next?
What's next for old Mumble Mouth? GFL, PFL, uh, Bellator. No, I actually would not have been mad if he retired.
What?
I mean, I don't see him fighting for a title anytime soon.
He's only 33. It's not like he's old.
I can confidently say I think he's one of the worst champs we might have ever had. And the thing is, he can be so good. He easily might be the most athletic fighter on the roster. It easily has the potential to be very good, but it's like he doesn't care. How do you not land a single punch in a round? How you go 5 minutes without landing one punch? Like, so you look at this fight, the last one with Bilal, where I will say he got dominated. I don't even know what you do with him. Maybe he can fight
I think you throw him in there with Ian Gary.
he can do Ian Gary, but I feel like Ian Gary's gonna get that Colby Covington match soon here at International Fight Week. So it's like, what do? You know what I mean? It's like, and you look at his career and whatnot. Yeah, he was champ. He won the belt off a the flukiest head kick I've ever seen. Now, don't get that wrong. It's still one of the best moments in UFC history. But it was
Can't take it away from him.
Can't take it away from him. It was a great moment, but at the end of the day, he was losing that entire fight, and then just flipped the head kick. But I will say he did come back in the rematch and dominated, easily won against Kamaru Usman, and then defended the belt against Colby Covington, and then lost. So, not much of a resume, because looking back on it now, it's like it was Kamaru. I don't know, like he got dominated by Leon, who at one point Leon was very good on his title run, and that fight where was able to dominate Kamaru Usman. But I am kind of like, I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm an avid Leon hater, but I mean, like, I remember the time when people said that Leon could beat Islam. Oh boy, how stupid does that look now?
There's another thing in hindsight that we forget about where Leon was matched up with. He was booked to fight Khamzat Chimaev 3 times in his career.
And each time the fighter pulled out because of COVID, I think.
Yeah, it was Khamzat for the most part. But it's kind of interesting now looking in hindsight, like with what Leon's done in his last 2 fights, like how would have those Khamzat fights gone for him? Would he have been dominated? We'll never know. We'll never know. But I
say yes, he would.
Yeah. I disagree as far as the notion of him needing to retire. I mean, he's only 33 years
I'm
old.
just saying I wouldn't have been mad. I don't think he should, but I would not have been mad or thought it was a dumb decision if he retired.
I think this could go one of 2 ways for Leon Edwards. I think it could be the start of a bad run at 170 to where a bad skid to where he just doesn't find his mojo. He isn't there mentally. Because like you saw in the corner during the fight against Brady and in the fight against Bilal, I mean, it seemed like he was checked out at times mentally. He was looking down. It seemed like he wasn't paying attention to his coaches at times. Obviously, we all know Leon's corner for giving him those crazy speeches, hyping him up, not letting people bully him.
I didn't feel like they were doing it that much this fight.
No, I don't think they were either. Even their team seemed a little shell shocked of what Brady was bringing to them.
They weren't clip farming.
And another thing was that that's crazy. Another thing was that for Leon to give him some slack in this when it comes to this situation, he was scheduled for weeks to fight JDM, which would have been a completely different fight stylistically. So, yes, he had 4 weeks or so, or 3.5 for Sean Brady, which isn't nothing, but it is a big switch up as far as preparing for an opponent. So I'll give him some slack there. But as far as where he goes next, it could either be the start of a downside or it could be a wake up call for him. He could get right in the gym, get his grappling down, his defensive grappling down. And I think the thing with Leon, even going back to the Colby fight and his second title defense, there would just be times where he wouldn't be pulling the trigger as much as people would like him to because we know how good of a striker he is. We know how clean he is on the feet. But there would be times where people think that he would not be willing to advance as much as some people would like with how talented he is. So, like I said, I think Ian Gary's the move. Who knows what's going to happen if Ian gets booked with Colby or anything. I don't know if that's going to happen. You never really know with Colby either. And honestly, I don't think Colby deserves that fight, but who knows? But yeah, congrats to Sean Brady. I mean,
Congrats, Sean
could
Brady,
not
man.
have gone better.
Co-main. I'm pretty. I thought Carlos Ulberg was going to win. I don't know about anyone else. This fight definitely happened. Hey, so now if Pereira beats Ankalaev in the rematch. Boom! Now we can do Olberg because everybody wants to see Pereira versus Olberg. Um, I mean, Carlos Olberg's up there now. He's in the mix. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like.
mean, you beat the number 3 guy in the world. That's not nothing. Blachowicz did come into this fight off of a layoff. He's 42 years old. I picked Olberg to win this fight initially as well. That being said, after watching the fight and going into the reading of the scorecards, I thought Blachowicz edged it out a little bit. I thought it was close. I didn't think it was robbery by any means, but I thought Blachowicz just landed a little bit of the harder shots, the power punches. But I think Olberg's activity and the leg kicks were what won him the fight. I mean, from the judge's perspective, he looked like the more active guy. So I get it from that standpoint. Like I said, it's no robbery by any means. Um, but as far as what's next for Olberg, I mean, you could give him the winner of Khalil versus Jamal. You could throw him in there with Rakic. Rakic is always floating around. So any of those options I wouldn't be upset about. And for Blachowicz, I mean, who knows at this point? He is 42 years of age. I haven't seen anything about him talking about retirement, so I feel like he's still going to be around. Um, he's already fought Rakic and won due to Rakic hurting his knee. So I'm not really sure where Blachowicz goes from here. I think there's some fights down in the division that could be interesting. Maybe a Dominic Reyes coming off of 2 wins. I wouldn't be upset about that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Olberg versus winner of Khalil and Jamal Hill is good. Even though I feel like if it's Jamal Hill, he's not going to want to fight Olberg. He's going to think he should fight for the title. Um, but I feel like Khalil will be down. Um, maybe if Jamal loses, they do that. Now for Jan, I wish he would just retire because I don't really see him winning anymore. Unless it's like just a no name or one of the lower ranked dudes. But it seems like he's still got a lot of fight left in him. He didn't look bad by any means
No, he didn't.
for being a 42-year-old man in there. He did not look bad. So maybe he sticks around. Maybe just becomes a journeyman gatekeeper type guy.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Blachowicz. I mean, I wouldn't say there's no chance of him winning ever again. I mean, you look
Yeah,
at the
no, he.
you look at the light heavyweight rankings. I mean, you've got Rakic there, you've got Nikita Krylov, you've got Ozdemir, Johnny Walker, Reyes at 11. You got Alonzo Menafield in there. I think any of those names from Krylov and down would be an appropriate fight for Blachowicz at this point in his career, coming off of a loss. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't be upset about any of those names.
Yeah. Now totally forgot he fought on this card till I was watching it. Kevin Holland, quick turnaround from 311 to
Yep.
fight UFC generated fighter Gunnar Nelson.
Nah, that's crazy. Gunner's been around for a while.
Yeah, he has. But Kevin Holland got it done. We were saying his career might be over after the RDR fight, saying that maybe he gets dropped, time to go to a different organization. But he comes in and gets a decision win. Gunnar Nelson. So shout out to the Trailblazers. It's always good seeing Kevin Holland get a win, I think.
Yeah, Holland looked good. I mean, Holland looked there. There's people. I believe it was. I don't want to say. I don't want to mess up and say who it was, but there was people saying that he looked potentially at his best, and obviously, I think the whole MMA fan base and community and any analyst out there will tell you that he objectively looks better at 170 than he does at 185. He's too small to be at 185. Um, Even he said it himself. If he's going to be at 185, he doesn't want any grapplers. He just wants to throw hands because he can crack at 85. He obviously has punching power at either division. But as far as the grappling goes, those are some big guys at 85, and they just he will get laid on, and he has trouble getting up on those guys. But at 170, he's got the size advantage. He's definitely got a lot of reach advantage on a lot of these guys at 170. He's a super long guy. But yeah, I think he looked great against Gunnar. Gunnar didn't dominate in the grappling by any means. Gunnar did have his moments. He threatened submissions at times, but obviously Kevin had the biggest moment of the fight at the end of the first round, dropping Gunnar. There was a point where I thought the fight was going to get called, but Gunnar got seemingly saved by the bell. And then in the third round, I thought Kevin did really well as well on the feet, landing some shots, and then defending against Gunnar's attack on the ground. So, I mean, as far as who's next for Kevin Holland, I could throw out 20 different names that could be next in two different divisions. I mean, he's not going to get anyone ranked at welterweight or middleweight. I would say maybe a guy like Alex Morono would be a fun fight. One of the just nothing out in the rankings. He might fight someone younger that's coming up in welterweight, but I don't really see outside of names of that caliber him getting any matchups outside of the things like that.
Yeah. Kevin Holland, hopefully he sticks around, just becomes a guy we can just get fun fights out of. Now give a big shout out to Molly McCann.
Meatball Molly, she did in fact retire seemingly after
good career.
Yeah, quick look around. I mean, she's not young by any means. She's in her 30s. But yeah, submitted in the first round by Fenera, and yeah, I mean, not much to say about the fight itself. I mean, Molly was seemingly dominated from as soon as the bell started to when she got submitted. She didn't really offer anything, and she was always kind of a little bit too small for flyweight, and then she cut down to strawweight, wasn't able to put it together. So, but she always brought entertainment. She was always great on the mic. I'm sure, as far as Molly goes, she will. I could see her having a career over in the UK on the mic, maybe doing podcasts and things of that nature. She's very personable. She's very popular. I mean, Christ, she got a Barstool deal. So that's not the end of the world for Molly. Her fighting career may be over, but I think she's going to have many avenues where she's going to be able to support herself, support her family, and just live good. So shout out to Molly. She always brought the entertainment. So
yeah. I don't think there was much else to talk about on
there was
this.
there were some pretty interesting things on the prelims if you go to them.
I know Jai Herbert. Hey, he fought to Ilia Topuria one time.
He starched Ilia Topuria at one time.
He did.
At Ilia's one fight at 155. But if you scroll down, two most notable things on the prelim were, yeah, unfortunate for Mick Parkin, UK guy, friend of Tom Aspinall's, wasn't able to get it done against Marcin Tybura. Tybura, I mean, he's a veteran. He's been around. He finds ways to win and grind out these types of fights against lower ranked guys in the heavyweight division. So I wasn't too surprised by this. I thought Mick had a chance to win, but it wasn't a complete domination by any means. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, one of the craziest things I've ever seen, Shauna Bannon got absolutely starched by a head kick early on in the fight, and I thought she was completely out. I'm surprised the ref didn't stop it, and I wouldn't have thought it would have been a bad stoppage anyway. But she recovers from it and then gets a submission in the second round. That was one of the craziest comebacks. That will be up for comeback of the year at the end of the year for sure. So that was pretty wild. Outside of that, yeah, UFC London. Decent fight night, nothing too crazy, but we move on to the next fight will be Moreno versus Urseg. Our next main event, that will be
Steve Urseg, man. I don't know. I like Steve Urseg. I feel bad, man, feeding him.
Our next recording will be us breaking that down, so stay tuned for that, and we will see y'all later.
And also news, unfortunately, Preston won't be able to join.
TBD. TBD.
Well, yeah. potentially, well, I will for sure be going. Got the tickets already purchased for UFC Kansas City, and we'll be making a vlog there. So hopefully we get that going. You guys can enjoy that.
Yep.
No.
Peace.
Peace.